talk during those first 10 minutes back on the court. What she saw would determine not just Clark's immediate future, but potentially the
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind.
In today's video, we're diving into one of the biggest controversies that shook the basketball world recently. It all started with a bold, head-turning statement from an ex-WNBA coach who claimed that the Indiana Fever would be better off without Caitlin Clark, one of the most electrifying talents in women's basketball. That's right, the same Caitlin Clark who's been lighting up the NCAA, breaking records, and turning heads with her incredible scoring and playmaking ability. But what happened after that claim? Well, it didn't take long for the backlash to come pouring in, forcing the coach to backtrack and completely reverse their opinion. Was it just a poorly chosen comment, or does it reflect deeper issues about how women's talent is perceived in professional sports? Let's break it all down.
Come out better for it. Because without Clark doing literally everything, the rest of the team is stepping up. And when she returns, rested, refocused, and absolutely done with all the noise, buckle up. That's not just a comeback, that's an encore. And here's the real kicker. If the Fever can survive this stretch, stay competitive, maybe even pull off a couple sneaky. Imagine Clark storming back onto the court, draining threes from the parking lot, and shushing every doubter who tried to write her off after 2 weeks of quad rehab.
Caitlin Clark has been nothing short of a phenomenon. Over the past few seasons, she's completely changed the landscape of women's college basketball. Her dazzling performances combined with a deadly shooting range and exceptional court vision have made her a household name. She's not just an offensive powerhouse, but also a leader on the floor, making her a prime candidate for the WNBA's next big star.
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons.
But all of this was seemingly overlooked when an ex-WNBA coach who was being interviewed on a podcast made the bold claim that the Indiana Fever would be better off without her. The coach argued that Clark's style of play was more individualistic and centered around her high-scoring capabilities might not fit with the Fever's team-oriented rebuilding strategy.
Connecticut, second last in the league in three-point percentage, just under 29%. Clark heaves and rattles one in. Back and forth they go from deep.
Setting up aerial power. She's coming off a pin down. An excellent screen by Nalissa Smith. She takes
a gauntlet to begin her career.
No shot is too far away from the rim for Caitlin Clark. Carrington gets caught underneath the screen from Boston.
Well, Caitlin Clark, one thing she got is handles. Finds her way to the rim.
Now, for those unfamiliar with the Fever's current situation, the team has been stuck in a rebuilding phase for quite some time. The Fever are in desperate need of a star player who can lead them back to playoff contention. After years of stagnation, many believed Caitlin Clark was exactly what the team needed. A player with star power, basketball IQ, and the ability to change the game with one shot. Yet, this coach's perspective was quite different.
Team, you guys have heard me talk about it several times. But Carolyn Peck's argument that the team is even more dangerous. Now, I have to say that because she's not saying that the team is not dangerous without Caitlin Clark. Understands basketball. Caitlin Clark is a point guard who shares the basketball. Not only does Caitlin score herself, this is what makes her so phenomenal, but she makes the preposterous statement that the team is even more dangerous with Caitlin Clark not on the floor because Caitlin is so ball dominant. Carolyn Peck has been around basketball, played basketball, coached basketball. So to suggest that because she's ball dominant, the team is more dangerous without her seems to suggest that the ball is only in her hands. Everybody else is standing around and Caitlin Clark is not distributing the basketball. What else could she be saying by that? Because she's up there in points, if I remember right, almost 19 points per game, but she rocks the league in assists as well. Caitlin does it all.
Yeah, you knew he wasn't going to be quiet. No, you said the Fever are better, more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. stand on your hate. Seriously, ma'am, you're not telling the truth. Maybe you should just apologize and own the mistake. Mistakes get made all the time. Running from them is beneath any person. Stand on it and regain your respect. I think it's too late for that. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. You have fully exposed yourself like a stripper on Friday nights.
This better off without her claim caught many by surprise. For one, Clark's ability to impact the game in ways no one else can seems undeniable. Whether it's hitting a clutch three, making a highlight-worthy assist, or taking over a game in the final minutes, Caitlin Clark is exactly the kind of player that can turn a franchise around. So when the coach made this statement, fans and analysts alike were left scratching their heads. How could the Fever, a team in need of star talent, possibly be better off without someone like Clark?
Turnover for the Lynx. Ionescu on the post, looks it off to Stewart. More fast break points. Defense lead to
Indiana Fever fans, who have long been starved for a true leader, weren't having any of it. Many pointed out that in today's NBA and WNBA, individual brilliance isn't necessarily a detractor from team success. In fact, it's often the star players who can create something out of nothing who elevate their teams. Think about Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, or Arike Ogunbowale. They're all players who excel individually, but that doesn't mean they don't help their teams win.
She absolutely makes no sense at all to suggest. Now, I haven't given a whole lot of time to the whole mindset that they would be better without Caitlin, or that they are better without Caitlin, or more dangerous, or however you want to term it.
At the end of the day, this controversy raised some important questions about the future of women's basketball and how players are perceived. Caitlin Clark's undeniable talent and ability to make a team better have been proven time and time again. Her ability to change the game isn't something that can be dismissed, no matter the style of play. The lesson here is clear. Star players like Clark aren't just a luxury for teams. They are the future of the league. The Indiana Fever, like every other team, would be wise to recognize her potential and bring her on board. So what do you think? Should the Indiana Fever go all in on Caitlin Clark? Or is there more to consider when it comes to building a well-rounded team? It's clear Clark's talent is undeniable, but can she fit seamlessly into the Fever's long-term plans? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this. And if you enjoyed today's breakdown and want to stay updated with all things basketball, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more in-depth analysis, highlights, and hot takes coming your way. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the next episode. We're diving deep into more WNBA news, game breakdowns, and everything that's shaping the future of women's basketball. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.